Hey guys, Micas here for live electronic music tutorials, of course presented by WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Did I said WeMakeDanceMusic.com? This is the largest music production marketplace on the internet where you can find a lot of templates, some unique vocals, some sounds. We have a lot of remakes of really hot songs right now. You can drop them into your DAW, make a remix, smash it, make a drum and bass remix, make a trap remix, make anything remix with the hot song. There's been vocals included that have been re-recorded, guys, and we have the coolest acapellas where you probably know right now that the mashups and things are like a big thing. So we have over 1,000 acapella re-recording of hot songs that you can put into your own track and release it, guys. Make your own cover. Just check it out on WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Anyway guys, this is episode 314 of your live electronic music tutorials, and I will not be using vocal this time. I'm gonna make a kind of like a classic house, like I would say early classic house with some little bit of some electric guitar, some sounds, you know, they're very familiar for me to early deep house. Like it was still house music, but it was really already in the mid 1990s and late 1990s, like a deep house movement that was started. I think it's really cool. Name I can recall right away is Fred Everything, which is actually from the town I'm from, Quebec City. Fred. Nice work, man. He's still actually producing music, very interesting tracks. During home recording in Chicago and in Los Angeles and things like that. So not Los Angeles, sorry, San Francisco. So guys, I'm gonna make you a track, of course, in real time, and of course I'm gonna make templates for Ableton, Logic and FL Studio from this episode, the track you hear right now. Hope it's cool, hope it's good, because the result of this today's episode, usually I'm okay. So I started this session with a little drum beat, super basic. I even added a little reverb just for fun to start. I preloaded the bass because this is the thing that I will start with for a track like that, obviously the bass line and some coffee. So let's hear this bass. It's really thumpy, kind of. So what I've done, guys, maybe you want to try this too, because I went into Alchemy, type search deep house. And I browse a little bit and then I get this one. To me it's on. Something basic like this, I would say. Can start at any time when I'm quite ready. I'm not sure if it will stay like this, but this is the start. A bit more length here. Oh. Oh, so much velocity here, so we can play with this here. The 222, I'm not too sure. Trying a little something here, I don't know if it's gonna work out. Yep. So let's check out the velocity a little bit, bring in the volume. I like to really go a little deeper on the length of the note here. We can leave some a bit longer, I think this one. Otherwise I want it to be slappy. So even these. I think that's something decent. We can do a little bit of sound design here. I think first thing we'll do before everything is I'm going to drop a side chain on it. I'm going to go with effects here, compress. drop the volume a little bit now that we're compressing. And like I said, guys, I have some interesting instruments here. I'm gonna start at the top. I think I'm in A. I could try to dub this bass on top. Maybe it's gonna give some result. Could be okay. I think it's meant to be. Oh, the root key is actually here. Probably gonna go in the sampler. I like to cut the top a little bit. Not quite sold on this really. I like better to feel it out. Because I have this bass, I think it's good enough. But the guitar, I probably would like some of the slap to be loud, bit of reverb. And I will answer this guitar with probably the piano that I have here. Not necessarily the exact same pattern, you know, but I just want to build a little bit of the feel. Because it's a sampler, not so much to do. Maybe I could just, you know, change one of the keys at the end to try to make a bit of a variation. The idea of that, I think it's cool. Makes a change. Also very, to me, this kit, I don't know if it was made for this, but it's really kind of the sound. You know, all those samples have like the character of like, for me, the classic deep house. And if you don't use Logic, guys, of course we're gonna put those into the template for Ableton and FL Studio, so you can have this kit into other DAWs. Play with. Where is the root key? Behind. Logic decided to cut the part because I was not exactly on time. I'm going to put those all the time. I'm going to space them out like this. I think I have something interesting here. We'll look at the key. there you go. Right away an idea with that to make a classic kind of filter effect. So in true deep house fashion or house music fashion, you quantize it to get the right feel. We'll even add another one here. Cut the first. This is the right pattern, just it. What I want to do is I'm going to simply create a quick filter. I don't know what, there's a fat effect on there. Is it in here? I never really hear it. So I just want a filter on there, which is very easy to do with an EQ. Drop this here, play a little bit with the octave. Could also put a bump on there if you want to like proper.